If you've been watching my channel for a while now, you would know that I love talking about the way that fans engage with football. In this video, I just have to talk about Mason Greenwood and the way that fans are reacting to his situation and him as a footballer. Before we get into it, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and head over to my TikTok and drop me a follow. Thank you. Most of you probably know the context of Mason Greenwood's situation and why he is viewed as a controversial figure in football right now. If you don't know the context, I recommend looking up what he allegedly did to his girlfriend. There are photos and audio recordings that are quite disturbing, and I'd rather not include them in the video. So again, if you need context, I recommend looking it up before watching the rest of my video. Overall, I find the praise that Greenwood has been receiving over the past year or so very, very strange, and I don't believe most of it stems from actual footballing reasons. Look, I'm not here to say if he should or shouldn't be playing football anymore. It's not my place. But I think football fans have some serious issues that need to be pointed out. I'm not denying that some people are solely praising him based on the fact that he's good at football, but I would be naive to think that those are the only reasons he is getting praise. The reason he is getting so much praise is because he is controversial. It's not only because he's a good player. It was hilarious seeing people post match highlights of his when he was at Getafe. These people can't name a single Getafe player, but they are out here watching 90 minutes of Greenwood play just so they can post the compilation to farm some engagement. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense. Fans didn't care about Getafe players before, and they don't care about any of them now. But when a talented, controversial footballer who allegedly did some very disturbing things to a woman comes to the team, all of a sudden fans are interested. The way that fans have been trying to twist the narrative around Greenwood and paint him in a positive light is absurd. They can't stand the fact that a player who deserves no praise is getting a lot of hate. They need to try to run a positive PR campaign for him, but not any other player on his team. It was hilarious when Fabrizio Romano posted that picture of Greenwood winning Getafe's Player of the Month. He has never posted anything like that before. Like, we all know what's going on here. These people are not slick at all. It's all marketing. They're trying to make everyone forget that he's a horrible human being, and they want to get as many clicks as possible. For the amount of attention he got at Getafe, one would think that he's a superstar player at one of the biggest clubs in the world, but no, in reality, he was playing for a club no one cared about. Now he is at Marseille, a much bigger club than Getafe, so it is obvious that he would receive a lot of attention now. However, I still find a lot of it odd. The amount of people who are suddenly interested in Marseille is shocking to me. I've never seen so many people interested in Marseille ever in my life. I wonder why they are so interested. Oh wait, I know why. It's because they can continue to run their marketing campaign for him, but now to an even greater extent because he is at a bigger club. These fans are all acting like clowns. They don't care about him only because he's a good footballer. They just can't stand the fact that he's viewed as a villain. That's why they like him. Because in their minds, he is just an innocent guy who did nothing wrong and he just deserves to play football. I'm sorry, but morally, I can't get behind that. No matter what levels Greenwood reaches, he will never be respected by me and many other football fans in any sort of way. I usually don't care about external stuff in football. I don't care about things that happen off the field. They don't influence my opinion on a player. But there are just some things that I can't get behind, I can't support. And the things that I've seen about Mason Greenwood are truly disgusting to me, and I don't care how good he is at football. Some things are just way more important. Let's be honest, if Greenwood was a bad footballer, he would have already been forgotten. If these types of allegations came out against a reserve player in the championship, the player would have been universally hated and probably would have never stepped on a football pitch again. Everyone would have made it known how disgusted they are by the player and his actions. The sad reality is that a lot of football fans value footballing ability over morality. It's just how it is. Recently on Twitter, I saw a random account tweet something like, "I can't believe I shared a dressing room with that disgusting human being." And I was confused as to who was being discussed. In the reply, someone linked an article about an ex-professional footballer named Kiernan Hughes-Mason being convicted of beating a 3-year-old little girl so badly that she now has permanent brain damage and she needs 24-hour care. I recognized the name and I realized that I used to watch him play for the YouTube team #United, who also play in English non-league football. I read a lot of the discussion about him and the situation on Twitter. Not once did I see anyone say anything about how good he used to be at football. Not a single time. All I saw was people rightfully being disgusted by his actions. Now, I'm not trying to compare the alleged crimes. Both crimes are horrible. I'm simply trying to compare the reactions to two of the worst crimes a human being could possibly commit. Harm done to children and women is generally viewed as completely unacceptable and unjustifiable. However, because Mason Greenwood is good enough at football, things that he allegedly did to his girlfriend are just not taken that serious by football fans. Isn't that crazy? If you're good enough at football, people will simply forget that you aren't a respectable human being. We've kind of seen this before with Luis Suarez. Obviously, the things that he did were nowhere near as bad as the things that Mason Greenwood was accused of doing. But Luis Suarez is a great example of how, if you're good enough at football, people don't care about your morally questionable actions. Luis Suarez was accused of racially abusing Patrice Evra back in 2013, and he has also bit 3 of his opponents throughout his career. However, the thing that he is most hated for is his handball that basically knocked Ghana out of the 2010 World Cup. Yes, the thing he is most hated for is an illegal action in a football match that ultimately helped his team win. Whenever people talk about Luis Suarez, no one brings up the bad things he has done. They only talk about how good he is at football. Whenever people talk about Luis Suarez, no one brings up the bad things he's done. They only talk about how good he was at football because that's all that fans care about. And people are trying to do a very similar thing with Mason Greenwood right now, even though his alleged crime was much worse than Luis Suarez's actions. Overall, I'm not saying you can't praise Mason Greenwood, but it's quite obvious that the discourse around him isn't as black and white as some fans are trying to make it seem. I do think it's really strange, but at the end of the day, I can't do anything about it. I'm just never going to cave into the Greenwood propaganda. There are just some things that I can't support because my morals don't allow me to. I just wish people would stop lying to themselves. You don't care if Greenwood is guilty or innocent. You would support him no matter what because as long as a controversial player is good enough at football, morality is unfortunately irrelevant. That will be the end of the video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.